we've been thinking about this situation of legacy for quite some time. Adam and I joined the team in November, and after the curated collections had deployed, and with the recent success of ETH subscriptions, you could really see kind of where Emblem is going. But we do have this legacy collection of 50,000 assets, right? It's a very large collection of, we'll say 100 or more different collections from 12 different blockchains. The contract was deployed in 2020, so it's not gas optimized. It's not, it doesn't interact with the curated collections very well. There's a lot of inefficiencies to it. And so we created at some point this migration portal that we'd seen for rare Pepes. It wasn't public, but we've been testing it out, and we wanted to see rare Pepes and see the interaction of users with this new rare Pepe contract, where we have 20,000 rare Pepes in the legacy contract, and there's now about 300 in the rare Pepe curated collection. And it's been about 2 months since we've launched it, so users just really have no interest in moving to it, whether they're lazy or whatever the reason is.
Well, let's be clear. It's the market's dead, right? If there was money and trading there, they'd all be moving. But it's, when you get a down market and it's bear market, it's just
right. And
why would I spend, $5, $10 to transfer my NFT to a new NFT contract?
Especially if you have 200 rare Pepes vaulted. Now you have to pay the gas for each one, right? So if you have 100 rare Pepes and you're paying $10 per gas transaction, now you have to move. Now you have to pay $1,000 or like half an ETH to really just move these over into a market where there's no trading activity, because everyone's sitting on this like older contract where the discoverability is terrible. The side panel is awful, right? There's so many collections. It's like the early kind of version of art blocks, and that was where art blocks went to their model now, where they're all just curated collections essentially. So following that, we also had this integration announcement with Rare Stamps that was supposed to go live yesterday or 2 days ago. And with the integration, they were going to be minting on this legacy contract. And we've made it known for a while. We've been trying to move away from the legacy contract through a variety of ways. And so we had this moment where like, wow, okay, if this goes live, now we're going to have all the Bitcoin Stance people minting.
They're going to be promoting it, right? It's going to be
promoting it when we're not trying to move away. So we had to literally like cut them off. And we made this decision to basically.
By the way, apologies to the Stamp guys. I mean, I know we were, we've apologized in private, but publicly, we understand that was painful for them. And, so yeah, sorry.
Yeah, if they're listening now, or if whenever they re-listen to it.
Yeah.
So we had to make a tough decision. We made the pause on both ends, and the reason why is because we're basically going to be moving away from it. And what this means is that the minting on the legacy contract is paused indefinitely and likely permanently. And we've also been in contact with multiple marketplaces, NFT marketplaces, OpenSea, and some of these other ones, to pause trading permanently, not now, but indefinitely at a point in the future. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be migrating all of these collections into individual curated collections. Some will be protocol based, which is what we're calling it, and some will be individual based. So the individual based would be similar to rare Pepes and Spells of Genesis that exists. The other one's a protocol based that you've seen with Cursed Ordinals and with recently with ETH subscriptions. And so there has to be some strategy behind this. And so the big question becomes, first, how are you migrating all of these, right? And then the second question is why? And so Emblem believes in this, like, we want the most decentralized products moving forward. And we've talked and reached out with multiple protocols from everything from different type of link strategies. And we've talked with like we've looked into DLCs and encryption protocols, and we've got a bunch of proposals from them. And basically everything that comes back with moving Emblem to a more decentralized model where we completely remove ourselves from the key process does not interact with the legacy contract. It's just like, it doesn't work. And so we have to get these into curated collections for us to create these more decentralized products in the future. And so we're in a standstill of Users don't want to migrate for whatever reason. There is no trading volume. It's cost efficient, or it's not cost efficient, whatever the case is. And so, we're making a tough decision to where we're going to be migrating it for the users themselves. So there's going to be no cost on any of the users. And we will be doing this probably through, it's probably going to be multi weeks, could even be a month, right? It's going to be a long process that we could even go forth and say this is probably the largest NFT migration in blockchain history. 50,000 NFTs in one collection that belong to 12 different blockchains. Like from my understanding of history, I don't think I've ever seen this before. So we're taking on a very large endeavor to do this. Right. And doing this, right, it might, could freak some people out. It could it could cause some frustrations and some pushback. And we really do understand that. And so we're going to be taking questions over the time of what to do. And we are actually going to be, the claiming process is going to be live again right after this call. We're just waiting to hear back from questions for everybody. So if you do not want to participate in this migration, you don't, whatever it is, you don't trust it, you feel infringed upon, whatever, you want to bring them back to self-custodials, there is going to be a claiming period to where everybody can remove their assets and go bring them back to the native chain of their blockchain, whether it's Namecoin, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, etc. And those that remain during a specific date that we'll announce in the future to when the trading on Emblem will be paused, probably permanently, while we work with these marketplaces that we've talked with. We have to give them a specific date to when we pause those, to when the migration happens. And so basically, if I had to visualize this for you, think of Emblem Legacy as like a Boeing 747 with 50,000 passengers. And basically what we have to do while flying the plane is get these passengers into individual private jets, which are the curated collections. And so we have to do this while flying. And, it's going to be a tough process, but we do have a strategy and a way to do this, which actually doesn't even change the asset or the asset itself. It's just now those assets become pointed to a curated collection. So the keys actually never change to it. So Emblem actually does not have to access the keys at all in any way, which I know is a big concern. That's always been a big concern for a lot. But this new move to individual curated collections, which is probably going to be over 20 by the time we're done with this, is going to create a more efficient product for Emblem. It's where we want to go in the future. We want to scale. We're working with 2 devs that will probably become permanent team members after this. And then we could do all the fun stuff like creating more decentralized products, because that's what Emblem believes in. Emblem was born on Bitcoin in 2016. And so we've had to make this path to decentralization, but we cannot do it until the Emblem Legacy contract is retired. And, it does hurt a little bit. You have 50,000 ETH traded on this collection, right? 12,000 unique owners. It's the 6th largest NFT collection on Ethereum. Yep. Right. So this is no easy feat, right? Making decisions on behalf of some of your users, but there's really no other option to get this done, to go to where we need to be to make Emblem Vault this, the de facto kind of vaulting strategy to go across different blockchains. But users will have the option, if they do not want to participate in this, to remove their assets. And so we'll put a date out at the future. And we'll see how it goes. We're very confident in this. It's going to be very exciting. We do believe the first collection is probably going to be Bitcoin stamps, and then moving forward. So if anyone has questions about this, we're more than open to talk about it. But yeah, Adam, what do you think about this? After we had decided, we've been mulling this over.
Yeah, it's honestly, I'm completely sold on it. Right. It's because, I understand from working with multiple, HNFT communities, trying to get people to wrap, or any sort of change is really, really hard. And you're only going to get a small percentage of people who are going to do it. I mean, I don't know how many Mooncats are, moved to the new wrapper and stuff. It's just really, really difficult to get people to do this. And what this is going to do is give for the HNFT community. This is going to be fantastic because, we know that when these collections have their own OpenSea page during the next bull run, which we're all hopeful actually occurs, it's going to be real nice to see, the Namecoin assets all on one OpenSea page, right? And be able to point people to very specific pages where communities can kind of rally around, I think is huge. Obviously, it's big from just like a security, tech upgrade to the entire smart contract. That's just a no-brainer. And I think that, it's really important what you said. It's like the asset, the wallet that holds your assets, those aren't moving. It's kind of just the box that holds those assets is changing. We're pointing it to a different box. That's what we're able to do with that migration portal. And so I'm excited for it. It's good. The amount of work and the lift of it is going to be tremendous. But that, that's what we're here for, man. It's building the future, dude. And the future is, you got to upgrade smart contracts. And, the smart contract's a few years old, man, and it needs to be upgraded. And, it's a tough decision. I mean, we debated this for what, 3 months, right? Were we just going to have a new kind of open contract, or are we going to move to curated? And I think, ordinals, forced us to think of this curated model and move it forward really quickly. And, we've had a couple things happen the last couple months that have like pressed the gas. And we're finally at this point where it's like, we saw the stamps thing coming, and it was like, when are we going to do this? When's going to be a good time? There is no perfect time. You know that in business. I know that there is no perfect time. And let's rip the Band-Aid off now, get it done. And, in a month from now, we're going to be in a completely new, knock on wood, in a completely new place where Emblem's kind of built for the future. And I'm excited about that.
Let's make some history, baby. Let's make some history. Yeah. And the cool point too, and we're also trying to strategize. We've been teasing out there's a new Emblem UI that we've been also building as well. So the plan, if it all works out right, we're kind of working on 3 things at one time. We got the BRC20s that are coming probably within the next 2 weeks. We're working on the migration strategy of this. So we'll be, releasing the claims so people can claim them. But minting is paused probably forever onto that contract, right? So that also takes a little bit of a hit to the business side of it. But if we can also, by the completion of the migration, we will have this new fresh UI that we've built with Emblem, which looks fucking sick. It is.
It'll work on the phone.
Yeah. And it also works. It's also compatible on mobile too. We've been testing it already. It looks similar. It looks very similar to kind of how Blur and OpenSea together. It's kind of like a mix, but we're also recreating or rethinking the vaulting idea, like what it looks like inside of a vault, and also the vault creation. So the new UI, the new UI is going to reduce the amount of clicks. That was also possible. Okay. We want you to be able to create a vault within 3 clicks is like kind of the goal. So we're taking the Amazon strategy of trying to reduce that friction as much as possible. And the curated model is exactly the way to move the path forward.
I mean, dude, look, even anybody who's done some ETH subscriptions over the last few days, dude, it's night and day easier from the legacy contract. It's so much quicker, so much faster. It's like literally like 2 clicks, you're done. It's just infinitely better, and it's only going to get better from here. So, it's just